Now, the Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch says she understands the public's opposition to the introduction of elected mayors in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight and in Sussex.
It's after a major government consultation found almost two-thirds of local people disagree with the plans for devolution here in the south.
Well, our political correspondent Kit Bradshaw is in Southsea for us this evening, where it looks lovely. Kit, now I know you've been speaking to the leader of the opposition and getting the views of local people as well.
Yes, Matt, and that's because Kemi Badenoch caught the hovercraft from here in Southsea to the Isle of Wight earlier, because in less than a year's time, this entire area will be electing a new mayor for Hampshire and the Solent for the first time. They'll have powers over things like transport, health, policing and planning. And in a sunny seafront cafe in Ryde earlier, I was able to get a sense of the appetite amongst local people for a new regional mayor.
I just question really even whether it's required, given the fact that we've got our own unitary authority. Do we need another layer of bureaucracy?
The biggest interest for anybody living on the Isle of Wight is to sorting out the appalling ferry service and the pricing, because it's killing the economy and it's not helping people find employment on the mainland. That's the biggest issue. A new mayor is not going to resolve that.
It has happened in the past. They've tried to lump us in with Hampshire and it just hasn't worked out on things like education. It hasn't worked out.
If we have it as the Isle of Wight in the actual name, not just Hampshire, it's important that we're different to the mainland in the fact that we're an island.
So, Kit, plenty of opposition from the people you spoke to today. How representative is that, though?
Well, an official government consultation, Matt, suggests it is fairly representative, because of the thousands of people who responded, 62% of people in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight disagree with a new mayor. Opposition was even higher in Sussex, with 66% of people opposing plans for a mayor there. But despite that opposition, it felt like the campaign had already started on the Isle of Wight earlier. The Conservatives' candidate Donna Jones was out and about with a local MP, the Shadow Chancellor and her party leader. And I asked Kemi Badenoch if she understood some of the local opposition to devolution.
Yes, I do understand it, and I've seen it all over the country. But Labour has decided that we are not in government anymore. The Conservatives are the opposition, so we have to make the best of it. And the thing is that devolution doesn't work if you get the wrong people in. And where devolution goes wrong, as we've seen with the SNP running Scotland and Labour running Wales, is that if people don't have good ideas, you don't have the high quality calibre of candidates, then it will go wrong.
Kemi Badenoch making the case for her candidate there. It's important to say that public consultation I mentioned earlier did find a majority of businesses in our region support the changes. Here's one business leader from the Isle of Wight.
I certainly think the businesses here on the island are looking forward to a new way of working with government. I think the addition of that local mayor and the responsibilities should provide us with the opportunity to communicate, have open conversation and be better prepared for any future plans that the government has in spending locally and making sure businesses have the opportunity to grow.
Now, it's important to say that Labour, the Lib Dems, Reform UK and the Greens, they all tell me that they will select their candidates for these two new mayoral positions in our region in due course. Those mayoral posts called Sussex and Brighton and Hampshire and the Solent. The government in recent weeks pledged an extra £2 million to setting up the entire scheme in our region. They really want to make this a success here in the south.
OK, Kit, for the time being, thank you very much indeed.